All right. Hello, friends, and welcome back to another exciting episode of The Divine Speaker. Let me just say, I am so surprised that we are in Sid Cahem already. I feel like, not necessarily that it's too soon, I just wasn't expecting it. And I don't know what's going to happen after this, but I am excited to explore the city, perhaps find Caspian, see what's going on in here. And I'm really excited to see Cyne again because it's really sad the way that we left it last episode. But first and foremost, we have our night here at this inn. And we gotta check out our rooms, right? The woman, who had short dark hair, led us up a set of stairs and down a corridor. Everything was clean and polished, beautifully taken care of.
You're Cyne's friends? I'm glad. I was beginning to think he didn't have any.
What is that? Like, who are you? Aren't you his friend?
Cyne not having friends? How could that be true? He's probably the most charismatic guy I've ever met.
He definitely has a way with his words, but he always distances himself from people. Sure, he knows a lot of them, but he never lets any of them in too close. He'll just dump them and run away. He's afraid of getting hurt.
That was surprising to hear.
Do you know each other well?
Not so much anymore. When we were teenagers, we'd hang out most days. Now, I barely see him once a month.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You don't have to be. Everyone grows up, and with newfound responsibilities comes less time for wasting away hours with friends. Still, I worry about him. How unprofessional of me. I never asked your names.
I'm Rain, and that's Fawn and Leos. We've just come here from Oxibor. It was a grueling few days of travel.
I hope you'll find your time here relaxing then. These are your rooms, side by side, and here's a key for each of you. In the lobby, you'll find another doorway that leads to the baths.
Okay.
You can use it whenever you want, free of charge. I'll leave you for the night, but feel free to come get me if you need anything.
She left back down the hall and was quickly out of sight.
She seen Night?
With a slam of his door, Fawn disappeared into his room. Okay, unlike him.
Well, he doesn't seem too happy.
How could he be? It wasn't his fault, but he must be finding it hard to forgive himself.
I feel for the kid. He's got it rough.
I mean, like Rain said, it wasn't his fault. My hand hesitated on the doorknob.
You tired? I mean, obviously you are, but if you're up for it, we could go have a look around the general area, or...
Absolutely. You're offering?
I'm still feeling a little restless, so I wouldn't mind a walk. Just not too far. You wouldn't want to get lost.
Okay.
That's what you have me for. Go by yourself? Well, you're asking for trouble. Go with me? Nothing can go wrong.
We walked back down the way we came and towards the front door, nodding at Aaron as we passed.
Unless, suddenly, someone lights all the houses of Sid Cahem on fire, and out of the flames comes a maniac.
That wasn't my fault. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm no pyromaniac.
I'm not so sure, you know? You say that nothing could go wrong, but you're pretty dangerous yourself.
We made our way outside and found ourselves on another wide, well-lit-up street. Leos nodded to go left, and we strolled casually down the path.
And luckily I have no intention of hurting you. For now.
For now? Can't you say it a little nicer?
Like what?
Rain, I could never hurt you. You mean too much to me, and my heart couldn't handle it. I promise to protect you, now and forever.
How can you even say lines like that without being sick? That's, God, so fucking corny.
Leos's face lit up, and he let out a laugh that I never thought I'd hear from him. It was genuine, missing all of his usual assholery.
Rain?
What? I mean, I just thought you'd sound pretty funny saying that. You know? How out of character would that be?
Leos reached his hand up to my face, brushing past my cheek.
What are you...
A leaf. It was in your hair.
It's so cliche. Oh my god. He stared directly into my eyes.
Rain, I could never hurt you. You mean too much to me, and my heart couldn't handle it. I promise to protect you now and forever.
Don't you dare start laughing.
Even I can't take myself seriously.
My heart was beating so hard I thought it might fly out of my chest. Leos.
You can't just spout lines like that out of nowhere.
It was your line. He just repeated it.
You told me to do it. What's the problem?
Forget it.
Somewhere along the way, Leos had gotten a lot easier to deal with. Where before he made me feel uneasy, now I felt safe. I felt as if I could confide in him about anything. Pretty much the opposite of how I should feel. He was still an assassin, despite how well he suddenly treated me, but I quietly composed myself, and my thoughts drifted back to Fawn and Cyne.
So, what do you think about the Fawn Cyne thing?
And what about it? They never got along in the first place.
I knew Fawn didn't trust him, but I didn't realize it was this serious.
We all have to be friends, Leos.
Well, then you've been walking around covering your eyes. It's obvious he didn't want him around. It's just a shame that was the place he snapped. Well, he's out of our hair now anyway, so nothing to lose sleep over.
No, I want him back. Which is weird because I thought that Cyne would be like my least favorite by, you know, a solid gap. I didn't think that I'd like him as much as I do, and I want him back.
You don't think we'll see him ever again? That's kind of sad.
We have to.
Not unless the forest fairy apologizes. Cyne's already said sorry and done his part. And that's only if we can find him. In a huge city like this, he could avoid us pretty easily. Just like that girl said, he cuts off people when they get too close. Also, it's way too fucking cold. Can we head back?
We didn't get to see much of the city, but being out here cleared my mind a little. Thank you, Leos.
My pleasure. I'm always here for your various needs, be that someone to talk to or someone that needs beating up.
I'll keep you in mind when the need arises then.
We turned around and found our way back to the inn, much faster than we had left it. Any longer, and our fingers may have fallen off after all. We passed by Erin, who smiled at us. She must have thought it was pretty funny, two badly dressed guys running back inside after only a few minutes in the snow. I unlocked my door and said goodnight to Leos, who did the same. Okay. I mean, kind of blurry. Sorry, I didn't know that I wasn't wearing my glasses. Why is the bed so blurry? But the room was spacious, with most of it being taken up by the huge bed that sat against the back wall. It looked unbelievably comfortable, with pillows piled upon pillows. It was very expensive looking. I just hoped it wouldn't affect Cyne's finances too much. Cyne. I opened up the large window that looked over the street below. People still walked to and fro, busy doing something or other. Cyne, I'm so sorry it ended up this way. He looked dejected, miserable, not only from what happened with Fawn, but from Leos's words, too. I didn't even get the chance to say goodbye properly. I sighed aloud, leaning out of the window. The air was still cold and icy, but it helped. to clear my mind. Soren, too. He was taken by Ilrin and Varys, but to where? All I have is a name, and I can't even remember how to pronounce it. It's not Zarin. Zarin? Because I remember it being different from Aaron. So I'm gonna say Zarin. What will they do to him? Ilrin told me they'd find us later, but how? They don't even know where we're staying. Patience is hard when lives are on the line. I shut the window, undressed, and found my way into the bed. The pillows were plump and the blankets warm and inviting. All the cold from earlier left my system, and I drifted off to sleep. Hey, we're not going to be lonely anymore.
Rain, can you hear me? Is my voice reaching you?
Because they said that they couldn't talk to us while we were in the forest, but we're not in the forest anymore. I missed you, weirdly.
Huh?
I opened my eyes to a blinding white light. Are we gonna, actually have a conversation?
Who's there?
Rain, I'm so thankful you can hear me. He's nearly upon you. There's nothing more you can do. Keep your friends close.
Cyne, you gotta come back. That voice, it's back. I can hear her whole sentences for the first time.
Be careful. No one can escape him. Hurt you. Take.
Wait, don't go! What are you trying to tell me?
I can't stay. Find you.
Okay, I mean that could have multiple meanings. He will find you. I will find you. I can't stay. In a flash, the light around me was consumed by darkness, and the voice echoed until it finally stopped. You. I could feel myself falling, until...
Ugh! No, don't go! Not yet!
I closed my eyes, desperately trying to force myself back to sleep, but it was no good. She was gone.
Ugh.
I remembered it all. It felt like she could hear me, too. Varys told me that I wasn't imagining it, which means she must have been warning me. Someone or something is nearly here, and I can't avoid a confrontation. There's no running. I've gotten myself involved in a plot much bigger than me. Much bigger than any of us. Quickly, I sprung out of bed, got dressed, and opened up my window again. Outside, a layer of snow still covered the surroundings, and the sun reflected harshly off of the white surface. Ladies dressed in winter garments walked the street, chatting happily. Shopkeepers put out their signs and opened their doors. In the distance, someone with blue hair rounded a corner, barely dressed for the cool weather. Fun? Wait a second. In an instant, I was outside, banging on Leos's door. I tried the handle, but it was locked.
Leos, wake up!
This is not the time for you to be sleeping in, bud. I moved over a door and tried Fawn's. It was unlocked and swung open easily. The room inside was identical to mine. And empty.
Why the fuck are you banging on my door first thing in
It's Fawn! He's gone!
What?
I just saw him from my window, and when I checked his room, he was gone. Quick, we need to go find him!
His face became serious, and he quickly pulled on his boots.
Quickly then. Which direction did you see him go?
That way.
It was back the way we came. Then he turned right.
Where is he going? 'Cause he's never been to Sidkayam. We ran in the direction that Fawn went, attracting the angry gazes of more than a few residents. Sorry, it's an emergency.
Why would he just leave? He wouldn't do anything stupid, would he?
I don't know. People can do anything when they're desperate.
Why is he desperate?
We need to find him, quickly! He can't be on his own here. I think someone's been following us.
How do you know?
Now isn't the time. I promise I'll explain later.
Fine, but don't think you're getting out of that.
Valid. We passed from street to street, but I found no sign of Fawn. No hint of blue hair anywhere.
Where do we go? What do we do?
Oh, shit. This is not how I wanted to spend my morning, you know. I was planning a relaxing, child-free day.
Child-free?
Hey, wait. Look.
That's not funny. Something could happen to...
Shut up. Come here.
Okay. They're having a conversation? Leo's pulled me out of sight and pointed back out into the street.
Shh. Let's go get them.
No, stop. They're having a conversation. Let them have their moments.
No, don't move.
Why?
They need to sort this out themselves.
What are you doing here? You probably shouldn't go wandering off on your own.
I don't know how to say this, but I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything but think of what happened.
I'm so excited right now.
I had to come find you straight away. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I can't even think of the words to show how sorry I am. Words will never be enough to convey the remorse I feel. I did so much wrong. I judged you from the start, wrongly. I was jealous and spiteful, and I don't want to be those things. There's no excuse for my actions, and I wouldn't dare to ask for forgiveness. But I hope, at the very least, you'll take my apology. I tried to hurt you, and I'm ashamed of that. I'm sorry.
That wasn't your fault.
It was. Those feelings that I let bottle up inside of me, I take full responsibility for them. In my right mind or not, I was wrong.
No, I can't let you take all the blame. I'm sorry, too. I knew you didn't like me, but I thought I was pretty funny. I wanted to poke at you. I wanted to make you snap.
I'm so happy right now.
It's my fault just as much as yours. Can we start over? I mean, I'm still not sure if you'll like me, but...
I'd like that.
Don't think that means I'll give up on Rain, though. I'll fight you for him.
What? I don't know what you mean.
Neither of you two are in the competition right now. Future games, though, yes. They both smiled. Finally, I'm so proud. Oh my god, we're all gonna be one big group of friends.
All right, come on, that's our cue.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look what the cat dragged in. You back already?
God.
I was worried you'd miss me if I stayed away for too long. What would you do without your resident gorgeous man?
I don't know, Cyne.
Were you guys listening?
No, we just walked up.
Nope. Didn't hear a thing. Are you guys getting along now?
The one time that Rain actually does something smart. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, we are.
Sorry I acted kinda strange yesterday. A night in my own bed made me feel better, though.
Good.
I'm glad to have you back. How'd things go with your parents?
Oh, they were ecstatic to see me. It was a wonderful family reunion.
That's fun. I think you're lying, but...
By that, I mean they lectured me all night, told me I wasn't to leave Sidcam again indefinitely, and I can't spend the night anywhere they can't watch me.
Interesting. I'm not gonna make that joke. You're probably gonna make it anyway.
I'm a grown adult, but my life is still out of my control, it seems.
I'm surprised he didn't. I thought of a stupid joke that you didn't? Oh god. What is the world coming to?
What about your, retainer? Any word from him?
Yeah.
Surprisingly, yes. He turned up home a day before me. I didn't get the chance to speak with him last night because of my parents, so I don't know what happened. I'm glad he got back safely, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not suspicious at all.
Same.
I trust there wasn't any ill intent from him, but I don't know what else it could be.
Beside me, Fawn shivered. Even Leos wrapped his arms around himself, trying to find some warmth.
Not faring too well in the weather?
How do you survive when it's this cold?
By not wearing a crop top.
You get used to it. Actually, I was going to mention it yesterday, but I didn't get the chance. I know an amazing tailor who could probably fix some warm clothes up for you three.
Okay. You know, I have seen that the characters get new clothes. I've seen, like, their sprites. I've never really noticed whether or not Cyne gets new clothes. Interesting.
Custom-made clothes? I've never worn anything like that.
My treat. Unless you'd rather freeze.
Well, at least a jacket or something. We won't get far if we all freeze to death.
Follow me. I've been meaning to drop by there anyway. The owner's an older guy called Ash. He's pretty well known around here.
Okay.
I'm not sure where he moved from, but he's probably the most fashionable man in Sidkayam, and a nice guy to boot.
Do you know everyone in Sidkayam?
I wouldn't say that. People just can't keep away from me, you know? I know Ash well enough, though. He kind of feels like a big brother. I started frequenting his store years ago, but it used to be run under a different name. He calls it the Primrose now.
Okay.
The Primrose. That's a pretty name.
Yeah, it is. Come on, we're nearly there.
We rounded a corner and came out in a quiet street, where a few children played in the snow, giggling. A sign stood out in the front of a small shop, with the words, "The Primrose," written in cursive. I held the door open, and we all entered the store. Yep, those are clothes. The shop was beyond the definition of the word homely. Fabrics laid sprawled out on surfaces, spools of thread every color of the rainbow were lined up against the walls, and a dim, warm light cascaded over the room. A staircase at the back of the store led upwards. Cyne walked slightly ahead, his heeled boots clacking against the floor.
Ash! Are you here?
His words echoed through the space, then right back at us.
He isn't the type to leave the door unlocked if he isn't.
Cyne, is that you? Don't tell me my favorite customer is already in need of new clothes. You can give me any excuse you want, but once you've ripped 7 outfits in a month, I start to think it's not an accident.
Oh, I like him. Okay. First it was legs, then a torso, then finally a head. The man descended down the staircase and into our view. He looked refined and stylish, but had a comforting smile on his face.
Oh, I didn't realize you had company. Who are these fine gentlemen? Friends?
Cyne looked back at us before smiling up at Ash.
Yeah, these are my friends.
The man finally came to a stop in front of our group. He was tall, with dark hair tied back to keep it out of his face. He smiled again, his hand resting on Cyne's shoulder.
I would have given you a warmer welcome if I'd known. Please, make yourselves comfortable. You can call me Ash.
I like him. Cyne rushed around behind me and pushed me forward.
You don't have to push.
Oh, go on. Introduce yourself already.
Ash eyed up this exchange before extending his hand out to me. His grip was firm and warm.
My name's Rain. This is Fawn and Leos.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you and all that.
I can guess why you've come. Not quite equipped for Sidkayam weather by the looks of it.
I don't think the tropical beaches of Stagwich can compare. Of course, there's only one person I'd trust to outfit them.
Let's see. 3 original outfits?
Can you do it?
Of course I can. And because it's you, we can work out a special price.
I knew I could count on you. Yay! Actually, I'd feel a little left out if I didn't get one too.
Okay, yes. Like I said, I wasn't sure if he gets one, but it feels weird if he doesn't.
4 outfits it is. I'm sure you'll lend me a hand with the designs.
Ooh, I already have some ideas.
Ash leant down to let Cyne whisper into his ear, and then nodded in agreement.
You've been thinking a lot about this. All right, let's start with some measurements. Leo's, was it? Follow me first.
Ash led Leos upstairs and out of sight. In the meantime, the rest of us made ourselves comfortable on a nearby sofa.
He seems pretty nice. What was that about ripping 7 outfits, though?
Don't you worry yourself about that. You know, sometimes it just happens.
Of course.
It does? How?
How do I put this? You know, sometimes in the heat of the moment, unbuttoning your clothes isn't your first thought.
I was assuming other people were. Are you saying that you are the one who keeps doing it? Calm yourself, man. I looked at him in confusion for a moment before it clicked. Wow, I'm so proud of you, Rain. Ah, okay. I got it.
Oh, I see.
It seems like a waste to ruin perfectly good clothes.
Well, it gives me an excuse to get more, so it's kind of a win-win.
Ouch! Hey, stop that!
It'll be over in a minute. I'm just taking your measurements.
What is painful about a tape measure?
Oh, that's called... Hey!
I could understand that one.
He sounds like he's having fun.
Oh.
He really does like to complain.
Leos came down the stairs and motioned for Fawn to go up after him. Before long, both Fawn and Leos were done, and it was finally my turn. I quickly went up the staircase and into the studio above.
It was Rain, wasn't it?
That's right. I'm sorry we just barged in. I'm sure you're busy.
Not at all. I'd be happy to do a favor for a friend of Cyne's.
The two of you seem close.
He was always an important client to me. But more than that, he's a bit of a troublemaker, a little noisy, and he has a habit of being rebellious. But he's a good kid. I like him a lot. He's got a fire to him that's hard to put out. And he obviously likes you a lot too.
Thank you.
Do you think so?
I removed my shirt and he began taking my measurements from head to toe. I noticed a purple gemstone hanging around his neck, dangling in front of me.
I was a little worried about him, to be honest. He's never been one to have friends. In fact, this is the first time he's ever brought anyone else here.
We're special.
I can tell you're the glue that holds them all together.
I always thought, with that much confidence, it'd be impossible to not be surrounded by friends.
That makes you all the more important to him, I'm sure.
Yes. All of them. How's life?
What's it like living in Sidkeum?
Well, there's always work to do, so I have no complaints. I used to be a traveler, with no place to call home.
A traveling tailor?
Believe it or not, I used to be a guard.
Okay.
A merchant from Telfield kept me on his caravan for protection. They sold the most beautiful silks I'd ever seen. But at the time, I had little interest in anything other than my sword. Now my time's taken up here or at the orphanage.
Okay.
You work at an orphanage?
I own one, just around the corner. I try to spend as much time there as I can, but I fear that's not enough sometimes.
I grew up in an orphanage, and if it's anything like mine, my childhood was full of great memories. I'm sure they all feel the same.
I hope so. I adopted my daughter from there too. Her name's Prim. Sometimes she hangs around the shop, but usually she's over at the orphanage playing with the other kids.
That's cute. Okay, and the shop is like named after her or something? He wrapped the tape measure around my torso, recording the measurement in a book. I wanted to know about the necklace.
Your necklace. Is that...
For a moment. Okay, just kidding. Shit, maybe I shouldn't have asked. The smile on his face faltered. Only just long enough for me to notice.
A gift from my wife.
Okay, why are we not happy about that?
It's beautiful. Does she have a matching one?
Is she dead?
Hers was the deepest red, as bold and as beautiful as she was.
Uh-huh.
Was? Is she not around?
No, not anymore. Not in any physical sense, but I can still feel her watching over me.
Okay.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too.
His eyes were downcast, but he continued working. Alright, then I guess we should ask about the gods.
You know, this might seem kind of strange, but I heard that in Sidcaeum it's illegal to worship any of the gods. Is that true?
You know, people have gone missing for asking things like that.
Are you a snitch, Ash?
Oh, I didn't mean any harm. I'm sorry.
None taken. I'd just be careful who you speak to so easily here. Everyone minds their own business, but they're always watching, always listening. A single slip-up when you think no one's around, and they'll have your head.
Okay, thank you.
Not literally, but it's certainly a dangerous topic.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you're not wrong. They're outlawed, as they have been for hundreds of years. Some people still secretly believe in them, though. I used to believe that something was up there, looking out for me. But not anymore.
I mean, you just said that your wife, your dead wife, you felt her watching you. And now not anymore? He smiled down at me, but it didn't reach his eyes.
We are nearly done. Lift your arms, and I'll just take this last measurement.
Almost instantly, his eyes found the markings that ran up my arm. They lingered for a moment before he resumed taking my measurements.
What brings you to Sidcaeum?
I guess you won't believe me if I say I'm here for sightseeing. I'm looking for a man named Caspian. The trail started in Stagwitch, then to Oxabor, and now here.
Caspian. I can't say that I know him. The name seems almost familiar, though.
Mm-hmm. He tapped on my arm lightly, drawing my attention back to my markings.
You should be careful. I'm not one for gossip, but there's not a single person at Sidcaeum who would pass up the opportunity to get ahead of one another.
Mm-hmm.
The petty squabbles, the lies. They'd do anything for power. Just try to stay safe.
Thank you.
What do you...
And we're all done. Why don't you head back downstairs while I get to work? It'll probably take me a few hours. But you're welcome to stick around.
You're going to create custom-made outfits for 4 people in a few hours?
Better than freezing outside in those clothes.
He turned away, leaving no room for questions. He started pulling fabrics and threads down from the shelves, preparing to start. I made my way back down the stairs, where the other 3 were still lounging around.
All done?
I never realized there were so many places you can measure on a body. I think Ash knows more about me than I do now. He said it'd take a few hours, but we're fine to stick around. I gotta admit, I'd rather sit in here than try my luck in that snow again. Brr. Oh, and, I kinda asked about Caspian while I was up there, but Ash didn't know him. I'm not surprised, really, but a little disappointed. That would be too easy, wouldn't it?
You know, you've come a long way to get here. Take it slow. Enjoy the sights. You've got time. Oh, just to clarify on my previous statement, I'm the sight.
Of course. Time. Do I have time? That voice. Someone is coming.
Sidcaeum's huge. Like, bigger than huge. Stagwitch and Oxabor look like anthills next to it. It's not going to be a quick job. You've got to accept that. but we'll get there.
I don't even know where to start.
Maybe we could yell, Caspian! Caspian! Where are you? While skipping through the streets?
If you don't have any good ideas, then keep your mouth shut.
I liked it.
I thought it was a pretty good idea. You're really no fun.
Hey, plenty fun.
Oh yeah? Prove it.
How am I meant to do that?
You could start by skipping through the streets and yelling.
Forget I asked. Fine, I'm no fun.
Have you got any ideas, Fawn?
Well, I think we could start by asking around somewhere that lots of people frequent. Eventually, we'll have to find someone that's heard of him.
Some kind of marketplace or an event?
Well, I'm not sure if it's helpful or not, but the Festival of New Light is in a couple of days.
Okay.
What a stupid name. What is it?
It's a celebration of our king driving out the false gods and, the story's kind of in bad taste now, isn't it?
Sounds like an excuse for you to mess around.
What? Me? Never! No, but really, it could be something to keep in mind. I don't hear any smart ideas coming out of your gorgeous mouth now, do I?
Hey, they're formulating. Good idea takes time.
Yeah, whatever you say.
The bickering continued throughout the day. At times, Leos would get up and pace back and forth, annoyed at the amount of time it was taking. Fawn nodded off, curled up into a large armchair. Cyne tried his best to annoy Leos, keeping himself occupied, though pretty much business as usual. The light from the shop windows became red-yellow, casting shadows over the room. Combined with the already homely feeling, it felt warm and cozy. Just as I was beginning to nod off myself, Ash popped his head up from outstairs. Sure, his head up from outstairs, that's what I said, but you get the point.
Can you four come up one at a time? I just need to make some final adjustments.
Okay.
I'll go first.
And up he went. We all stared at the staircase, waiting for the grand reveal. Even Leos and Cyne stopped arguing for a moment out of interest. Not long after, with a shy look on his face, Fawn made his way back to the group.
What do you think?
I wasn't expecting to see it so soon. You look really pretty in it. I do really like it on Fawn. The first thing I noticed was his cloak. It looked like the night sky, as if it were made of stars itself. A big bow adorned the front of him, which he played with timidly. A beret sat on the top of his head, and Ash had even put a braid in his hair.
You look beautiful.
Really pretty.
Huh. Well, maybe this wasn't a waste of our time after all.
Leos even likes it, damn.
I told you guys, didn't I? I only shop here for a reason.
It's so comfortable. I've never had anything like this before.
He looked towards Cyne, who returned his gaze with a smile.
There's no need to thank me. You looking cute is thanks enough. Well, go on, big boy. It's your turn.
Fine.
To Fawn's apparent horror, Cyne was really interested in examining his new clothes in great detail. 4 twirls and a dizzy Fawn later, Leos came back down the staircase. I don't like Leos's outfit as much as I like Fawn's, but I don't know. I like his beginning outfit better.
Wow, what a hunk. Oh, I think I'm falling for you right here.
Dressed in black and red, Leos's had the air of someone smart and sophisticated. He pulled at his clothing uncomfortably, looking down at himself with a sigh.
It suits you. You look really handsome.
The idea is meant that I'm not to be noticed? In this kind of fancy rubbish, everyone's gonna be looking at me.
Are you kidding me? Is that meant to be a joke? You stick out like a sore thumb. Your hair is bright red, you wear high-heeled boots, and you have your abs out on display. How is that inconspicuous? At least now you're able to blend in with the crowd here.
I mean, he's got a point.
My hair could have been left out at least.
Oh, okay.
He has a point, you know. You did dress a little strangely for a mercenary.
Unless you were that kind of mercenary. Like, please stab me with your sword, Daddy.
Damn. Cyne? Gross.
Oh, my turn.
Okay. Like I said, I don't know what Cyne wears. He sprung up 2 steps at a time. From above, we could hear him giggling. Leos tried to act like he didn't care, but I could tell he was checking himself out in the mirror. He'd never say it, but I'm sure he was thankful. He was just a little shy. A special Leos version of shy, where he might stab you or he might blush. It's a 50-50 chance either way. Only a few moments later, Cyne rocketed back towards us.
Here I am! What do you think? Beautiful? Gorgeous? Out of this world? Dazzling, perhaps? Come on, don't hold back!
Mature in a weird way. You've aged 5 years. The first thing I saw was his small waist, okay, accentuated by a beautiful green that was out of this world. His cloak dangled from his shoulders, giving him an aura that screamed, "Look at me." It was perfect.
Wow, you kind of look like a prince.
Acceptable, yeah, okay.
I'll take it.
It's really handsome.
Wait, did you shrink? You look even shorter than before.
Boo! Rude! At least I'm not a beanpole.
I guess it's my turn then?
I'm looking forward to seeing what he made for you.
Thanks, Vaughn.
Yeah, me too. I'll be right back.
For the second time today, I made my way upstairs. Ash stood in front of a table, giving a final look over his creation.
I must say, this one was the most tricky.
Thanks. What does that mean?
Pardon?
I've made a lot of garments in my life, you know, and quite a few have been for Cyne. Up until now, he's left most of the details up to me. But this time, his request was something that shows his heart.
Okay, so it is an open chest, no shirt sort of deal. I'm joking.
He then added, plus a dash of sexy, for good measure.
Of course. I undressed and Ash helped me pull out the clothes. It was heavier, more weighty than before.
Ta-da! Have a look.
He spun me around until I faced a large mirror that ran down the wall, floor to ceiling. My vision was taken up by a huge green cloak, so intricately detailed I couldn't help but gasp. Gems dangled from winding, delicate embroidery. White, gold, and green. It was more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. The white and gold of the suit took me back to home, reminded me of the speaker. Okay, that's an interesting parallel. I touched the fabric at my chest. It all felt so unreal.
I don't know what to say.
He motioned for me to follow him, and we made our way back down the storefront. Fawn, Cyne, and Leos all looked up at me as I descended. Wow, we have a whole cast now of people in new outfits all on the same screen. Fawn looks like a moth. I love it. Thanks. What's the giggle about?
Oh, Ash, I think this could be your greatest work yet!
And I can't say that I'm not proud of it.
You look really good. Like, really, really good.
Thanks.
Huh. Not bad. Better than before. You look slightly less like an orphan.
Thanks.
I am an orphan, though. Even having my hair done like this feels strange. I look like someone else. Ash, Cyne, I can't thank you two enough. It's wonderful.
It was only new clothes, but I felt refreshed and ready to continue my journey.
Cyne, it looks like we match. What a coincidence.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. A coincidence.
Cyne handed over a bundle of coins and waved goodbye as we all turned to leave.
Wait,
Okay.
you know, I've had quite a lot of orders coming through lately from the upper houses. Tomorrow night there's set to be a huge ball, with entry only allowed by invitation.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll be helpful, and I don't even know if you'll be able to get in there, but if you're looking for a large gathering of people, you'll find nowhere better.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that.
Is it possible? Could we get in?
Let's talk more outside.
We gave our final thanks and goodbyes and left the warm sunset lit store behind in favor of the snow-ridden streets. The warmth of my new clothes surrounded me with comfort as the last rays of sunlight began to fade away behind the buildings of Sidcaeum. Far away in the distance, the sound of a crow's cry signaled it would soon be night. Even Leo seemed to snuggle further into the warm fabric, glad to have his midriff covered, I assumed. I would be too. Our group walked through the streets quietly for a time before I raised my voice.
Cyne, thank you for all of this. I really appreciate it. Everyone else does too.
No need for thanks, but I have to admit, I don't mind hearing your praise. Not one bit.
So, now that we're a little more dressed for the occasion, how do we get into this ball?
Well, you see, the thing is, I'm kind of under house arrest at the moment, so my invite was snatched out of my hands. Which wouldn't usually be an issue, considering I hate attending them anyway. In fact, I'm a little surprised I wasn't forced to go as punishment.
Then what are you doing out here? Go on, run along home already before you get in trouble with your mommy.
Come on. I can't do what I'm told all the time, can I? That would be no fun. Anyway, I doubt I'll be able to get my invite back.
Damn. Anyone else have any ideas? Fawn?
I can't think of anything.
I glanced towards Leos, who shrugged in response. There has to be some way. If there's even a single person there who has information on Caspian, then it would be worth it. I crossed my arms, deep in thought.
Where's it being held?
There's a large venue in the upper levels. Why?
Curiosity. Does this conversation really need to be held outside? It's still freezing.
Aren't you the one who said we should leave the tailor place? Make up your mind.
Uh-oh. Nothing's fallen off down there, has it?
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear you, alright?
Come on, I'm not that bad. Give a guy a try, Leos.
I can't think of anything worse than giving you a try. Later. Stay out here in the snow for all I care.
Leos quickened his pace back towards the inn, trying to put some distance between himself and Cyne, most likely. They both have such strong personalities. I never would have thought we'd run into someone that could get so far under Leos' skin.
Are you worried?
A little.
I'm sure there's someone here that can help us, so don't stress out too much yet.
He gave me a soft smile that warmed my heart, and it was suddenly hard to feel too negative.
I'm just worried that I'll miss my only opportunity to find him. If someone there knows him, or even if he attends himself.
Whether we get in or not, we will find him, okay?
If it helps, I've never heard of the guy, so I doubt he would be an attendee. It's difficult to get an invite.
I guess you're right.
I better sneak back home before my mother realizes I've gone. I don't think I'd survive if I got into any more trouble.
Leos turned back over his shoulder and scoffed at Cyne.
How old are you again?
Ha ha. Aren't you a funny one? I haven't heard that one before. Oh, I suppose we can't all be lucky enough to not have overbearing parents. You wouldn't understand.
Leos looked away, a frown crossing his face.
Will you be alright?
She probably won't kill me.
Probably.
Good night, Cyne. Have a safe trip back.
Finally leaving? Good.
No, don't say that. I'm gonna be sad again. Cyne waved over his shoulder and disappeared out into the night. I really hope he won't get into too much trouble because of me. I mean, it's kind of my fault he got grounded in the first place, right? Before I could dwell on those thoughts too heavily, Fawn put a hand on my shoulder.
I'm sure he'll be fine. Let's head on back before it gets even colder.
Feel free to stand around trying to make each other feel better for as long as you want. I'm going inside.
Fawn pulled his hand away from my shoulder and to his chest before staring down at the snow. Leos really did just leave. I glanced towards Fawn, smiled, and then started to quickly catch up with Leos. The rest of the walk back was mostly silent as we strolled through the dark streets. The city was even more stunning at night, the moonlight reflecting off of the pure, white snow. A few moments later, and we found ourselves back outside the inn.
I suppose there's nothing else we can do tonight. Should we meet up tomorrow?
Good idea. Leos? Hello? Leos?
What? Yeah, sure.
Alright, our diabolical plan to, I don't know. My first thought was steal the moon is a go then. Leos has said it's okay.
You seem distracted. What's on your mind?
I was just thinking.
Well, good night then, you two.
Okay, goodbye, Fawn.
Good night, Pipsqueak.
Fawn turned and walked back towards our rooms. I went to follow him, but noticed Leos was distracted, deep in thought. Well, I'll leave him to it. Following behind Fawn, I rested my hand against my door with a sigh. Such a huge, vast city, filled with more people than I could ever imagine. It was like searching for a needle in a haystack. I don't know what he looks like, what he sounds like, what he does now. Where are you, Caspian? Slowly, I pulled my door open and stepped inside. Perhaps it was staying at Soren's mansion, but I made a mental note to make sure I locked the door. I pushed the door closed, or, well, I tried to. With a thunk, something stopped it.
You're not gonna invite me in? How heartless.
Excuse me? Hello? Leos's boot stuck between, like, I was thinking jokingly in my head, oh my god, it's Leos's shoe. Hello? His boot stuck between the door and the frame, stopping it from closing. I quickly opened it and he joined me in my room. Hello?
What is it? If you wanted something, you could have told me before.
I like that we even got to take the fluffy jacket off. Interesting.
There's too many people. This is the discussion for us.
Okay. A strange feeling welled up inside of me, but I pushed it to the side.
What? You couldn't tell Cyne or Fawn?
I have an idea.
Okay.
About?
I want you to trust me. Just for tonight.
Okay.
I do trust you. Always.
Good line, Rain. As if that almost wasn't the answer he wanted to hear, he frowned and crossed his arms, before sighing and looking straight into my eyes.
Good. Then come with me and stay quiet.
Okay. With that, he strolled back into the entryway without even checking to see if I was following. That's so like Leos. He just expects me to follow behind him blindly. Never tells me anything. Ironically, I did exactly that and jogged to catch up with him, his long legs carrying him far faster than I'd thought.
Should I go get Fawn?
No.
No. Only the two of us are going.
So, we're sneaking out?
What, sneaking out? We're not kids. We don't need to go everywhere as a group. It's too conspicuous.
I guess so. It just seems a little secretive.
I glanced back in the direction of Fawn's door. I felt a little bad leaving him behind, but there wasn't much choice. Leos only just complained about being in the cold, and yet he was leading me back out there straight away.
Will you tell me where we're going?
Not yet, just follow me.
Didn't you warn me before to be careful and not trust people so easily?
Yeah, but it's Leos, Rain.
Well, I did, but this is different.
So trusting you is okay?
Yes.
No, you should trust me least of all.
Okay.
But you've already followed me this far, so you might as well come with me.
For some reason, my chest felt heavy. Why couldn't I trust him after all he's done for me? Why wouldn't he trust me? However, I still followed along beside him, but now with a heavier heart.
Upper levels, huh? Hopefully this way.
Where are we going? He muttered to himself quietly, leading me up stairways and through the darkness. He's always been smart. I knew that. He can come up with a solution to a problem nearly instantly, but would it kill him to share it with me? To let me help too? It's like he's afraid to let anyone too close. Afraid of letting anyone help him. Like he said when we first met, he doesn't like to be indebted to anyone. He would have rather us leave him in the forest to die than help him. With my mind consumed by these thoughts, I didn't notice Leo stop just ahead of me. With my eyes still to the ground, I bumped into his back.
What are you doing? Can't you watch where you're walking?
No.
I just
want you to let me help you too sometimes.
Forget it.
This is why you're always bumping into people. You need to pay more attention.
Sorry.
You don't have to be... Just forget it. Come on, it looks like we're heading in the right direction.
Okay. The houses made way for fancy-looking buildings and estates, and suddenly even the air around us had a sense of refinement. Ooh, this is fancy air we're breathing.
Are we...
Going to the ball? Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
Leos, I hate to break it to you, but it's not until tomorrow.
I thought the same thing, but I was worried that I was wrong.
Sometimes even I can't believe your stupidity. No, idiot. We're gonna scope out the location.
Like spies or something?
Yeah, sure, if that makes you happy.
Won't we get in trouble?
Not if we don't get caught.
What?
Shh. Can't you keep your mouth closed for 5 minutes?
Are you crazy? We can't sneak into something like this.
Why not? I've snuck into plenty of places before. If the people here are as gaudy and egocentric as they seem, they won't even notice us.
But...
Rain, I was taught how to break into a building by the time I could walk. Yeah, this will be a piece of cake.
Why are you bringing Rain?
But if we get caught...
We won't.
But if we do...
I just said we won't. This is why I didn't tell you where we were going.
All right, fine. Okay, we'll sneak in.
Glad you finally agree, and if I'm not mistaken, that looks like a prime location for the ball.
Okay, and this might be a little too early to end the episode, but I feel like this is a good, solid place to end it. I don't know how long the scene is going to be. I did just glance through a little bit, went through it really fast, and skimmed, and it seems like this is a scene, so I don't want this to go on for too long. Maybe we should just end it here for right now, on a little bit of a cliffhanger, you know? There it is, a prime location for the ball. That we'll have to see next episode, you know? I'm really excited. I don't know where exactly it is that the common route splits into each of the love interest routes. Did we just do it and this is the start of Leos's route? Am I going to get like a notification later? Congratulations, you're now on a route. I do know that it's sometime after them getting new outfits, but I don't know how close it is. I'll look that up in the next episode. I will let you know whether or not we're in Leos's route or if we're still in the common route, but we do have to end the episode eventually, unfortunately, and this is where it's probably the best. So, thank you for watching this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one for sneaking into where the ball is going to be held, even if we aren't actually, like, going to the ball. I don't know what's going on here, but ooh, we're being spies and we're sneaky. I'll see you next episode. Some more of that.